Hello Wargames, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter, and in today's video we are going to take a look at my GorkaMorka mob. Okay, here we are. Here is the GorkaMorka mob that I have been working on, and yeah, so here they are. They are the Orks of WAAAAGH. Obviously you have to have a theme if you're playing GorkaMorka. It's the unwritten rule, and my theme is every orc is named after someone who's committed a financial crime worthy of talking about. I just find it fascinating how people can be more crippling to an entire country using their brain than a gun. Something about that I find fascinating. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it because I'm not quite smart enough, but nevertheless, here are the Orks of WAAAAGH, and yeah, so the basic theme that I went for was that they were escaping prison. So they've been given these nice orange overalls, as you can see here. Obviously means they were in trouble. Orange and black, very simple colour selection there. This is my knob, my orc, my knob. Yes, he is Ponzi, as you can see here, labelled by the back of his base. And why did I call him Ponzi? Well, anyone here who has a rough background in economics or just general knowledge of that kind of field will know that Ponzi is the inventor of the so-called Ponzi scheme, or the pyramid scheme, where he used Italian postage stamps to basically trick people into investing in him. This is a very I mean, this isn't, if you want to read more about it and hear more details, that's fine, that's a good idea. This is a rough overall view. So he basically tricked Americans into investing in a company that never existed, and he would use new investors' money to pay dividends to current investors, and then basically it all collapsed and he made millions. Obviously he ended up in prison, it was illegal, but I mean, it's pretty inspiring in terms of the fact that you can do so much with a brain, so much more than you can with a gun. It takes a smart person to cripple a country. Anyone can shoot someone. Not like actually anyone, I couldn't, I would find it terrifying. But the point being, this guy was pretty clever. And that's the theme throughout this little GorkaMorka mob. And yes, you can see he's pretty angry. It's a very simple scheme. I'm just using some of the orcs that came from the Assault on Black Reach kit all those years ago. So yeah, we've also got Madoff, named after Bernie Madoff. He made a Ponzi scheme in 2008 that was worth hundreds of millions. Obviously a very clever guy. And then we've got a couple here. We've got Boski and Keating, and I believe they both did a very similar thing. I can't quite remember, but I believe what both of them did was basically make up with the fact that their company was worth more than it actually was, and again drew out investors' money when really investors should have been putting it elsewhere. So there you go. That's the mob. I know it's only 4 boys strong, or 3 boys and a knob strong, but they've got a lot of upgrades. My actual list is everyone gets cool things, because my truck is pint-sized and I needed room for them all. So Keating over here is my spanner. He has heavy armor, I think, and then slugger chopper. Flak armor, heavy armor, big chopper, slugger. Basically very simple, but hopefully very effective. I don't know of anyone who plays locally. I am hoping to travel up to Derby to go and give Kid Blams a game at some point, which would be really fun, because this mob is not built for anything slightly competitive, which means it will do stupid things when it should be doing well, or trying to anyway. And now that you've seen the mob, let's take a look at their vehicle. How seamless was that transition, am I right? So what we have here is the vehicle. Now, it's work in progress. I've still got an absolute bunch to do, but I wanted to show you how it's getting on. I give you updates every now and then, because this is a slightly slower project than the boys, because they were just a quick tabletop paint job. But I kind of wanted to have fun with this, be a bit silly. So what's the idea of this truck? Well, the whole idea behind it, the theme I'm going for is when an economist tries to be an engineer. Now, I myself used to be interested in engineering. I'm now taking an economics degree, and I know that I could not reliably build a car. But then orcs can't reliably build anything, so I figured it'd be kind of funny. I'm going for, it looks dysfunctional, but it is functional. And you can see here This steering wheel is connected into one wheel. Oh, sugar. That's my light box, a little bit broken. But there we go. So yeah, you can see it's connected into one wheel, and that does all the steering. He is straddling the engine. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will know that that is the big shooter orc from the Assault on Black Reach kit. Saving money every way I can. I literally just cut everything off. I'm going to green stuff a little bit of it so it looks a little prettier, but I just cut everything off. The big shooter was attached to his hand. It's not anymore. His hand was attached to the big shooter. Now it's holding a steering wheel the size of his palm. So I thought I'd go with a bit of humour, like I said. The actual truck is a Bedford World War II truck from Airfix, 145th scale, so it was way too small. So I built it, built the chassis and everything, and just took a hobby knife down the middle, and then put some plasticard in there. Basically, I wanted it to look like my guys, my economists, so to speak, had literally taken a car and cut it in half to make it bigger. So that's the look I'm going for. Like I said, it is kind of pint-sized. Just to put that into perspective again, here is the knob Ponzi. Let's just stick him in his vehicle. Oh, he just has to sit. That's a lot of space taken up by one guy. Just another little point of reference. I'll just turn it around over here. Yeah. So he takes up the vast majority of room. You can see the driver there. My spanner is Keating because he's got a ponytail. He does like to do it up with the skull when he is driving, because he is a fan of Mad Max. And then you can see the other guys, once I've shuffled everything around, they do fit. It's a little bit squishy. But then this is my rack for scrap as well. I've made a scrap rack. I figured scrap counters could sit on top of it, and that would be really handy. Obviously, economists always thinking about the money. So there's just a couple of points of reference. I'll take them off now, and we can look at the rest of the truck once I've sort of snaked this guy out. So we're going to come around towards the back. When I say towards, that is definitely the back. And you can see here the theme is stuck. I've cut the truck in half and just slabbed it together with some styrene. Got lots more work to do. Excuse me. I have a bunch of work I want to do just to make it look a little bit more rugged. But I am going for a very simplistic look. These are just 2 bits of sprue. And then underneath, much of the same. I don't know how well we're going to be able to get this in. You can see here that I have basically just taken 2 bits of sprue, one here, to make it look like it's supposed to look like it shouldn't work, but it could work if there was a miracle going on. So that's the theme. There's the truck. You've seen the mob, and that's where I'm going. So you'll see some occasional updates on this fella right here and his truck, Keating's truck. I'll probably come up with a name for the truck at some point. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video. As ever, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments below. If there's any suggestions for styrene work and that, I'd love to hear them. I don't want to go overly complicated, but I would like it to look a little ramshackle, of course. So thanks ever so much for watching, guys. It's been me, Callum from Banter. Don't forget, have fun.